Hello, everyone. I'm Yazan Ibrahim, or as some of you might know me, Yazan Abu Ghosh. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating and essential topic, Fraud Examiner Section 4, Fraud Prevention and Deterrence 4.4, Management's Fraud-Related Responsibilities, Guarding the Fortress, Management's Role in Fraud Prevention and Compliance. Hey there, everyone, and welcome to an eye-opening journey into the heart of corporate responsibility. Today, we're diving into a topic that's critical for any organization, yet often flies under the radar until disaster strikes. Management's role in preventing and detecting fraud, building robust compliance programs, and safeguarding vital records. Over the next 40 minutes, we'll unpack how leaders at every level shape an ethical culture, design systems to stop fraud before it starts, and ensure accountability when things go wrong. So grab a seat, maybe a pen to jot down some notes, and let's explore how management becomes the first line of defense in protecting a company's integrity and trust. Let's start with the big responsibility resting on management's shoulders: fraud prevention and detection. Picture a company as a fortress with management as the gatekeepers tasked with keeping invaders, fraudsters out. They're not just overseeing operations, they're the architects of an anti-fraud program, designing and implementing strategies to spot and stop deceit before it takes root. This isn't a side job, it's a core duty. They must set a tone of zero tolerance, making it crystal clear that fraud, whether it's a small fudge in the books or a massive embezzlement scheme, has no place in the organization. Beyond prevention, they're also the first responders, ensuring any instance of fraud is met with swift, appropriate action, whether that's an internal investigation or cooperating with authorities. But what's the foundation of this responsibility? It's all about creating an ethical culture. Management doesn't just write policies, they live them, setting an example that ripples through every department. Think of them as the conductors of an orchestra, ensuring every player from the newest intern to the seasoned executive follows the same ethical score. This tone at the top isn't just talk, it's a commitment reinforced through actions, showing that integrity isn't negotiable. As the ACFE emphasizes in its resources, a strong ethical culture is often the strongest deterrent to fraud, far more powerful than any single policy. Now, let's dig into the legal underpinnings of why management carries this weight. It comes down to a concept called vicarious or imputed liability. Here's how it works. A corporation can be held criminally liable for the actions of its employees if those actions are done within the scope of their job and with the intent to benefit the company, even if no actual benefit happens. Whether it's a clerk or the CEO, their misdeeds can implicate the entire organization. This liability extends through actual authority, where an employee has formal permission to act, or apparent authority, where outsiders reasonably believe they do. Even more striking, the law assumes a company knows everything its employees know, so willful ignorance, turning a blind eye to misconduct, doesn't cut it. Under the conscious avoidance principle, if management suspects wrongdoing but avoids confirming it, they're still on the hook. It's a stark reminder that responsibility isn't optional, it's baked into the legal fabric of running a business. Shifting focus, let's talk about one of management's most powerful tools against fraud: internal controls. These are the systems and processes that act like security cameras and locked doors within our corporate fortress, designed to prevent and detect issues before they spiral. Management is tasked with ensuring these controls are not just in place, but actively monitored, assessed, and updated. While employees at various levels might execute these controls, it's management's job to oversee their effectiveness. Think of it as regularly testing the fortress walls for cracks, because a single weak spot can let the whole defense crumble. To understand internal controls better, let's explore the COSO Internal Control Integrated Framework, a gold standard developed from the Treadway Commission's recommendations. This framework is built for organizations of all sizes, aiming to provide reasonable assurance across three key objectives: operational effectiveness, reliable reporting, and legal compliance. It's like a blueprint for a well-guarded structure, ensuring every aspect of the business runs smoothly and transparently. The COSO framework breaks down into 5 essential components, each playing a unique role. First, there's the control environment, setting the ethical tone and standards across the organization. It's about a commitment to integrity, independent board oversight, clear roles, competent staff, and accountability, essentially, the moral compass guiding every decision. Next comes risk assessment, where management identifies and evaluates threats, both internal and external, that could derail objectives. This includes analyzing fraud risks and adapting to changes like a weather forecast warning of storms ahead. Then we have control activities, the specific policies and procedures to tackle those risks. Think of them as the locks and alarms tailored to protect vulnerable areas. This includes technology controls and clear guidelines to ensure consistency. Information and communication follow, ensuring vital data flows freely within and outside the company to support these controls. It's about generating quality information and sharing it effectively, like a well-coordinated alert system. Finally, monitoring keeps everything in check through ongoing evaluations and timely fixes for any deficiencies. These 5 components must work together seamlessly. If one falters, the whole system weakens. Moving to another critical area, let's examine management's responsibility for an effective compliance and ethics program. This isn't just about avoiding fraud, it's about embedding a culture of legal and ethical behavior. The US Sentencing Guidelines, USSG, established in 1991, set a benchmark here, offering reduced penalties for organizations with robust compliance programs, even if an offense occurs. It's a global model, echoed in standards like ISO, showing that a well-designed program, reasonably implemented and enforced, can make a real difference, even if it doesn't catch every misstep. So what does an effective program look like under the USSG? It starts with due diligence to prevent and detect criminal conduct, paired with a culture that champions ethics. There are 7 minimum requirements to meet this standard. First, clear standards and procedures must lay out ethical guidelines to prevent illegal acts aligned with management's values. Second, a knowledgeable board or governing authority must oversee the program with high-level personnel, ensuring its design and day-to-day operations handled by empowered staff. Third, due diligence in hiring avoids placing risky individuals in key roles. Fourth, training and communication educate everyone, leaders, employees, contractors, through regular, tailored sessions. Fifth, monitoring and reporting systems like anonymous hotlines ensure issues are caught and addressed. Sixth, consistent enforcement uses incentives for good behavior and discipline for violations. And seventh, a swift response to offenses includes corrective actions and system improvements to prevent recurrence. Let's break down how these programs are developed and maintained. Responsibility starts at the top, with the board or audit committees overseeing the program, documented through meeting minutes. Day-to-day operations might fall to a compliance officer or team who report effectiveness to leadership. Due diligence in hiring screens for ethical qualifications, especially for executives, while communication ensures policies reach all stakeholders. Training isn't a one-off, it's ongoing, using workshops or digital courses to highlight prohibited actions and ethical standards, keeping everyone sharp. On the global stage, ISO 37301 offers a complementary framework for compliance programs across sectors. It emphasizes understanding organizational context, defining leadership roles, planning for risks, providing resources, implementing controls like whistleblowing mechanisms, evaluating through audits, and continuously improving. It's a holistic approach, ensuring compliance isn't just a checkbox but a living part of the business. Enforcement is where the rubber meets the road. Organizations must uphold compliance with disciplinary measures, reprimands, suspensions, even terminations for violations, documenting every action to show regulators they're serious. On the flip side, rewards for ethical behavior or reporting misconduct incentivize adherence. When offenses happen, the response must include restitution, self-reporting to authorities, and adjusting systems to plug gaps. It's about learning from mistakes to build a stronger shield. Another key piece is periodic assessments and risk management. Management must regularly evaluate compliance risks, considering past misconduct, the severity of potential offenses, and the strength of current controls. This isn't a static process. As risks evolve, so must the program. Think of it as updating the fortress defenses based on new threats on the horizon, ensuring protection stays relevant. How do frameworks like USSG and COSO connect? While USSG lays out explicit compliance requirements, COSO focuses on flexible internal controls. Both, however, stress ethical leadership, oversight, and prevention, forming a powerful duo to reduce risks. It's like combining a detailed battle plan with adaptable tactics. Each strengthens the other. Finally, let's turn to a vital but often overlooked area: document retention policies, or DRPs. These policies are management's roadmap for organizing records, ensuring legal compliance, and supporting anti-fraud efforts. A poorly managed DRP can lead to statutory violations, so getting it right is non-negotiable. Picture it as the archive room of our fortress, where every scroll and ledger is meticulously stored for when it's needed most. An effective DRP has several key components. It begins with preventive planning, setting protocols before litigation or investigations loom. It must comply with legal requirements tailored to the company's specific practices. Courts judge these policies on a reasonableness standard, so generic templates won't do. The policy should define the document lifecycle, specifying what to destroy and when, with special protocols for electronic records. Suspension policies are critical, halting destruction during legal proceedings. Employees must be aware of these rules. Understanding retention timelines and document types from financial records to emails. Storage and destruction guidelines are equally important. Documents, whether in cloud servers, physical cabinets, or external facilities, must be secure yet accessible for legal requests. Destruction, when allowed, means shredding tangible records or ensuring electronic files are truly erased, not just moved to a recycle bin. Oversight falls to a DRP manager, a senior employee who implements the policy, ensures compliance, consults legal counsel on retention periods, and suspends destruction during litigation. It's a role of precision, ensuring every piece of the archive is accounted for. As we wrap up this deep dive, let's reflect on the bigger picture. Management's role in fraud prevention, compliance, and record keeping isn't just about rules, it's about building a culture of trust and accountability that protects everyone involved. From setting an ethical tone to designing internal controls with frameworks like COSO, from enforcing compliance under standards like USSG and ISO to safeguarding records with tailored DRPs, leaders are the guardians of organizational integrity. Thanks for joining me on this exploration. Let's keep the conversation going, share your thoughts or questions, and let's continue learning how to fortify businesses against fraud and failure together. Thank you for watching, and as always, continue learning. Stay curious, and we'll see you next video.